Something about that final moment in the episode didn't feel normal. The tension in the room, the hesitation in Nassim's voice, and the way Aya reacted, it all hinted at something deeper, because sometimes in stories like this, the real conflict doesn't explode immediately. It starts quietly, with a look, a pause, a decision that seems small in the moment, but can destroy everything later. And if what we saw in this episode truly means what it looks like, the next episode of this story might push these characters into a confrontation none of them are ready for. Welcome back to Marjan Reviews. This episode didn't rely on loud drama or shocking action. Instead, it slowly built emotional pressure around the characters, especially Nassim. And when you look closely at his behavior throughout the episode, you start noticing something interesting. Nassim isn't just reacting to events anymore. He's starting to carry the weight of multiple secrets at the same time. His conversations felt careful, almost calculated. The way he spoke, the way he avoided certain topics, even the moments where he seemed distracted, these weren't random. They felt like the behavior of someone who knows that one wrong move could expose everything. And this is where the emotional turning point of the episode begins. Because Aya's role in this story is changing. Earlier in the series, Aya often reacted emotionally, sometimes impulsively, but in this episode, her behavior felt different. She was watching, observing, almost studying Nassim. There was a particular moment where the silence between them said more than the dialogue itself. When two characters stop speaking but continue looking at each other, it usually means both of them are thinking about something they're not ready to say out loud. Aya's hesitation suggests she may already suspect something. And if that suspicion grows stronger, the next episode could become extremely dangerous for Nassim. Another important emotional shift in this episode comes from the growing tension between loyalty and survival. Several characters now seem trapped between protecting someone they care about and protecting themselves. This is where silent power shifts begin to happen. In stories like this, power isn't always about who speaks the loudest. Sometimes the most powerful character is the one who knows the most secrets. And right now, it feels like secrets are starting to circulate through the story faster than the characters realize. One subtle clue was the change in tone during certain conversations. There were moments where a character would start speaking confidently, but then suddenly stop. Almost as if those pauses matter, because pauses often signal fear. Fear of revealing the truth. Fear of being exposed. Fear that someone in the room already knows more than they should. Nassim's internal conflict is also becoming clearer. Throughout the episode, you can see the pressure building on him emotionally. His decisions no longer feel simple. Every choice now carries consequences. This creates an interesting psychological tension. Is Nassim trying to protect someone, or is he trying to protect himself? Because those two motivations can lead to very different outcomes. If he's protecting someone else, he might eventually sacrifice himself for them. But if he's protecting himself, he might betray someone he once trusted. And that possibility becomes even more intense when you consider the growing emotional instability around the other characters. Another subtle clue was the shift in body language during certain scenes. One character in particular seemed unusually tense whenever Nassim entered the room. The crossed arms, the lack of eye contact, the short responses, all signs that something deeper is happening beneath the surface. This raises a dangerous possibility. What if someone else already knows Nassim's secret, and they're just waiting for the right moment to use it? Because manipulation in stories like this rarely happens in obvious ways. The most effective manipulators are the ones who wait patiently until their opponent feels completely safe. Then they strike. Now let's talk about one of the most interesting emotional dynamics that may shape the next episode: trust. Trust between these characters is slowly breaking down. At first, the cracks are small: a suspicious glance, a question that doesn't get answered, a conversation that ends too quickly. But over time, those cracks grow. And when trust disappears completely, alliances collapse. This leads us to our first major prediction for the next episode. Prediction number 1. A secret that has been quietly building in the background may finally begin to surface. Not necessarily through a direct confession, but through a mistake. Someone might say something they weren't supposed to say, or someone might notice a detail that suddenly makes everything clear. When that happens, the emotional fallout could be explosive. Prediction number 2. Aya may start confronting Nassim indirectly. Instead of accusing him openly, she might test him. Ask questions that seem innocent, but are actually designed to reveal the truth. These kinds of psychological confrontations are often more intense than direct arguments because both characters know exactly what the other one is doing. Prediction number 3. Another character may attempt to manipulate the situation to their advantage. If someone realizes that Nassim is vulnerable, they might try to control him using that vulnerability, and this could create a new power structure within the story prediction. Number 4. An unexpected alliance could form. Two characters who previously distrusted each other may decide that working together is the only way to survive. And alliances formed under pressure are often the most dangerous ones. Prediction number 5. The emotional pressure on Nassim may finally push him toward a risky decision. A decision that could either solve everything or destroy the fragile balance that still exists between these characters. Now let's explore a couple of deeper theories, because sometimes the most shocking twists come from questions nobody is asking yet. What if Nassim isn't the only person hiding a secret? What if another character has been manipulating the situation from the beginning? If that's true, then the conflicts we're seeing now might only be the surface level of a much larger strategy. Another possibility is even more unsettling. What if the real threat in this story hasn't appeared yet? What if all of these tensions are slowly building toward the arrival of someone who will completely change the balance of power? Stories like this often introduce a new character at the exact moment when everything seems ready to explode. And when that happens, loyalties can change instantly. Before we reach the next episode, there's an important question that we need to ask. Was Nassim's behavior in this episode the result of fear or strategy? Because if he's acting out of fear, he might soon lose control of the situation. But if he's acting strategically, it means he may already be planning something that nobody else sees yet, and that possibility changes everything. So now I want to hear your thoughts. Was this the moment Nassim started losing control of the situation? Or was this actually the moment he started taking control? Do you think Aya already knows the truth? Or is she still trying to figure out what's really happening? And if you were in Nassim's position right now, would you reveal the truth and face the consequences? Or keep hiding it and risk a much bigger disaster later? Comment your theory below, because the most interesting predictions often come from viewers who notice details others miss. If you enjoy deep drama analysis and prediction videos like this, make sure you subscribe to Marjan Reviews and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown. Because if the tension we saw in this episode continues to grow, the next episode might push these characters into a confrontation that will change the entire direction of the story. And if even one of these theories turns out to be true, the next episode could reveal a truth that none of them are prepared to face.